We have several of the most marginal seats in the country. Labour and Conservatives dominate, but could UKIP upset that political balance? We'll be taking a close look at our marginal constituencies as we head towards the election. Our political editor John Hess begins with a report from Conservative-held Amber Valley in Derbyshire.
For gardener Darren Cheetham, 2015's got off to a busy start. The winter winds cutting through Amber Valley in Derbyshire have brought trees down. It's also been a whirlwind start to the new year for politics. A general election is blowing our way, but can the parties cut through to the voters as easily as this chainsaw through wood?
I've enjoyed the coalition because then one party can't dictate what's going to happen or say one thing and do another.
The political ground here in Amber Valley can be very difficult for any political party to lay down permanent roots. This is classic swing territory, and the warning for any politician, it's not just the trees that come crashing down.
A short drive off the M1, the Amber Valley constituency is in the heart of Derbyshire and those crucial Midland marginals that so often decide which party will be in government. Judy Malaber took the seat off the Conservatives to usher in Tony Blair's new Labour era in 1997. But at the last election at 7%, the swing from Labour to the Tories was one of the biggest. Nigel Mills won the seat by only 536 votes. If his name doesn't ring a bell, perhaps you know him better as the Candy Crush MP, caught playing the game on his iPad during a parliamentary hearing.
I'm up for that. Anybody?
Votes in favour at a meeting of Amber Valley business leaders. It's a show of hands on what to discuss at future meetings in this election year.
Right. My name is Mark Tennant. My business is Harvey Spencer Financial Planning. This isn't London. This isn't the South East. It's the East Midlands. You know, we've got a unique set of problems, I think, you know, from our industrial heritage. So, you know, the big employees have gone, small micro businesses, all trying to get going. You know,
I'm Mandy Oldknow and I'm a travel counsellor. We have a lot of trouble with schools and things, and people seem to have lost their aspirations a bit.
My name's Brian Locke. I'm a business consultant. Things begin to really need to turn round, but can we actually see evidence of that in our day-to-day lives? I sometimes question that we can.
Anderson on Amber Sound FM. Very good morning to you. Welcome along.
Chris Knight presents a morning show on Amber Valley's community radio station. If you want to tap into the mood of Amber Valley voters, ask him.
It was a very, very close race before, and the way the local elections have gone over the last couple of years, I could probably see that the Conservatives are losing this seat.
Amber Valley traditionally has been a two-horse race between Labour and the Conservatives, but this time round, could Nigel Farage's UKIP be worth a flutter?
The big one for me is Europe. European immigration. I think that touches me the most.
So would UKIP appeal?
Yes, definitely.
It would be UKIP for me.
Yes, just big changes really, please.
in what areas?
In national health, education, you know, everything seems to be going down, doesn't it?
My income has gone down, but the spending seems to be going up, although petrol's better.
The party leaders will be pounding the streets of Amber Valley soon enough. How these shoppers vote could decide who walks into Downing Street.
Well, joining us to discuss all that is Paul Oakton, who's based in the East Midlands and is a national organiser for UKIP. Paul, is this a target seat for your party?
Is Amber Valley a target seat? Well, we're certainly not calling it a target seat. In fact, we're not calling any seats target seats, because one thing that we know, and the old parties know as well, is that this election is, if nothing else, unpredictable. So Amber Valley, like many seats across the East Midlands, across the country, we're going to have to see how the campaign progresses over the next 4 or 5 weeks, 4 or 5 months, and it's going to be very exciting.
But do you not view this area as the Amber Valley area as a potential target?
Well, let's look
being
at
a marginal seat.
Let's look at Amber Valley there and how exciting it is that firstly you've got young people, as seen in your clip just there, talking about how Europe affects them, how they're affected by the EU and they're concerned about the EU. Amber Valley as a seat, we got less than 1,000 votes last time, and yet you've got people now on the street saying that they're going to consider giving us their vote. That's what's exciting. We're kind of 16,000 votes behind the old parties just 5 years ago. We don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen. What we know is we're going to put everything into it.
You are? Oh, right.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We've got campaigns across the region, across the country, and we're not going to give anybody an easy ride. What the outcome of that will be, we don't know, but that's what makes it so exciting.
Worried, Edward?
No, and nor is Nigel Mills. Nigel Mills has done a fantastic job as the Member of Parliament for Amber Valley, and he will be the Member of Parliament on May the 8th, the day after the general election.
So you don't think that UKIP will take any votes away from you then?
They may do. They may take votes off the Labour Party. They may take votes off the Liberal Party. We saw them take a few lumps out of the Labour Party at the Middleton and Hayward by-election in Manchester. Who knows what they'll do, but all I can tell you is that if they take votes off Nigel Mills, they will allow a Labour government to be formed. If that's what he and Farage think is a good idea, well then we're on different planets.
Vernon, can Labour take seats back like Amber Valley? You used to hold it?
Yeah, we certainly can take seats back like Amber Valley and many of the other seats across the East Midlands. And certainly many of those seats are the seats that we've identified and working hard to win at Lincoln, Sherwood, Erewash, all of those different seats that we're working hard to win those seats in our attempt to become a majority government after the next election.
How much effort would you be putting, your party be putting into a marginal like that?
Oh, we're putting lots of effort.
How big is it as far as your strategy is concerned?
Sorry, we put a lot of effort into all of our seats, but obviously we look at the seats where we think we've got a particular chance of winning. Amber Valley is one of those, as well as many of the other seats that I've mentioned across the region. And obviously in that battle we'll take on the Conservatives where they hold that seat, and obviously we'll take on UKIP. I might say about UKIP, they want to be taken seriously. It'll be interesting now to take them on and hear what they have to say about a whole variety of policies, not only on Europe and immigration. I'm sure people want to hear what they have to say about the welfare state, what they have to say about the health service, about schools, as well as their things. And let's see it and let battle commence on all of those issues as well.
Let battle commence.
I'd like to pick up on a point that Sir Edward made, actually, which is the Hayward and Middleton by-election, which is quite right. UKIP went up there with low expectations in a Labour heartland, came within 620 votes. Sir Edward says that a strong UKIP performance means we'll let a Labour government in. Actually, what Hayward and Middleton proved was that if you vote Conservative, you get Labour, because if more of the Conservative votes had switched to UKIP, we would have had an MP up there.
I'm sure that's jolly interesting, but the real...
It's jolly interesting, and it's jolly true, which is...
The really serious point that we need to make about this is that at best, UKIP will get 2, possibly 3, on a good Wednesday they'll get, and even on a Thursday, they might get 4 members of Parliament throughout the country. They may have a strength in Clacton, they may have strength in Rochdale, but by and large, across the country, with our first-past-the-post system, they're not going to score. And what they will do, if they're not careful, is they will take marginal Conservative seats and hand them to Labour. That's the truth of it. And I would have thought that...
So you are worried then?
No, I'm not in the least bit worried. I'm not in the least bit worried. No, as I said,
maybe a little too relaxed. Do you feel as relaxed about UKIP as Edward clearly is?
We're going to fight hard for every single vote in every seat, and that's the important thing. The point I'm making at the end, as well as what UKIP will say about immigration and Europe, which are obviously important issues, we'll have the debate with the Conservatives, with UKIP and with everyone about the cost of living, about the things that matter to people in their ordinary lives.
What we're doing is, this election is about the future of our country. It's not about returning the country to the 1950s. UKIP is essentially full of very nice people, but they want to bring back the 1950s.
Can I just say,
I can remember the 1950s. I don't want to bring it.
I can't remember the 1950s.
So you're nice people from the 1950s.
It's nice to hear that nice to hear a Conservative say that we're nice people. That's rapidly changing, which is...
Well, you don't appear to be very nasty.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
You can see the problem here, where they've got the right of the British politics.
I can see that, but I can see that this is going to go on for quite a long time.